In this lecture, we are going to study family as a social institution. This is an introduction part of this institution called family. Let us understand what a family really is. In a layman's term, we can say that family is a social unit which basically has a husband, wife, and their children. Here are some of the definitions by some sociological thinkers that you can take a look at. And let us get into the introduction part. So, G.P. Murdoch, an anthropologist who has studied in depth about this institution called family, he called it as a universal human grouping. Now, let us understand what is a primary group. A primary group, as the name suggests, is the first group that the human comes in contact with. So, when an individual has come into the society, his first interaction is with the primary group, that is his family. So, it is an outstanding primary group. It is outstanding because it has lot of functions which the family as an institution delivers. It is the very basic and elementary form of society. That means when you are born and once you become a part of the family, you are also becoming a part of the society. And this is the most basic form of it. You will get an idea of how things are in the society. You will learn from your parents, you will learn from your elders, and you will get socialized. So, family also helps in the process of socialization. In fact, the process of socialization begins with the family. Therefore, it links the individual to the larger social structure, that is the society. It prepares the individual that you need to learn certain norms, certain values, certain things that are in the society because you are going to become a part of it. It is not only a structure, but it is also a social institution and social system. So, family is a social group where we learn about socialization. All the socialization takes place there. It is a social system as it is composed of interdependent parts. Okay, when there is a social system, we can compare it to the human body where every organ is dependent on each other. In the same way, there is a lot of interdependency and it has a characteristic organization which also has a pattern of functioning. That means you are being told what your functions are, what your roles will be when you become a part of the larger society. And it is a social system or it is also a social institution because it begins the human social life and it organizes people. It helps in meeting people the goals and needs which are there in the society, which can also be called as societal needs. Now, coming to the characteristics of society. So, the society is universal. First of all, we need to understand that society is a universal group, it is a universal institution. Second, members have a responsibility. So, all the members that are there in the family, be it your father, be it your mother, they all have their own roles and responsibilities. And as the child grows up, he also has some responsibilities that he fulfills. And these roles and responsibilities keep changing with the change in his status. For example, when he's just a child, he has some different responsibilities. When he grows up and when he becomes a brother, when he becomes adult, he becomes a husband, he becomes a father, then his roles and responsibilities keep changing. Family has also the characteristic of providing economic dependence, providing social regulation. Everything that is going to be there in the society, we learn it from home only. Our parents teach us how do we have to behave when we go out in the real world. It also has the characteristic of mating relationship or procreation. That means it gives a nod to the procreation. It gives a nod to the selection of mates. It is also a form of marriage because it is only after marriage that legally or in sociological terms a family can be taken into consideration. A family develops. There is a common residence of people living in the family. Nomenclature. Everybody is given a distinguished name according to their family. And the last one is mate selection. You have the you have the freedom, you have the choice. I can say you have the choice to choose your mate, whether it is forced choice or whether it is your individual choice, that is a different subject altogether, but mate selection is also a characteristic. Now, forms of society. So on today's lines we can say that the most famous and the most common type of family today is the modern nuclear family, where there is a very small family and no extended family members are living in the family. Second is the joint family, which is the traditional family in most of the societies. Third is the extended family, where all the kins are also included. Next is the matriarchal family, where the mother side is given more importance, and the last one is patriarchal family, where the head is the father figure. Now, coming to the functions of the family. So, according to Kingsley Davis, there are four functions, that is reproduction. So, when you are a part of the family, when you are engaged in family matters, you are given the nod, you are given the right to reproduce. Okay. Maintenance. All the maintenance that is required from a child's rearing, from his recreation, procreation, and from all the activities that are there in the house, family gives a nod for its maintenance. Placement. One is given a place to stay, one is given a residence, and the last is socialization. As family is the first group that we come across or we become a part of, therefore it helps in socialization process. Next functions list is given by Ogburn and Nimkov, who have said that there are two types of functions broadly, that is essential and non-essential. Now we can say what are some other functions. So there are many functions of the society. Let us just take a quick look. There can be economic function, that is giving money, providing with economic dependence, religious functions, educational functions, recreational, procreation, home or residence that we just studied about, rearing of children, cultural transmission, how one culture is transmitted from one generation to another. Affection. Mothers and fathers have the responsibility of giving or providing affection to the children. Ascribed status. Ascribed status is what is given to us by the virtue of our birth, where we are born and we get that status. So a Brahmin born into a Brahmin family, a child born there, he has been given the status of a Brahmin. This is his ascribed status, and what he does in his life, what he achieves, what he learns, that will give him the achieved status. So I hope you got this brief introduction of family. We'll study about the various perspectives on family, that is the functionalist perspective, conflictist perspective, in the next classes. Let us discuss some questions now. Question number 1. Which of these are the institutional functions of the family according to Ogburn? Now let us understand what are institutional functions. Institutions, there are many institutions in the society, that is education, religion and all of these. So the family facilitates towards these institutions, that are the institutional functions. So if we look at the options, educational, economic, protective, recreational, these are all the kind of functions which are institutional in nature delivered by the family. So the answer will be option number 5, all of these. Next question, which of the following is not a feature of the joint family system? So if you look at option number B, in its each unit of the family has its own head. So we know that if there is each unit of the family, it is not possible that they all have its own head. In the joint family system, it is dependent on the system that there will be one head who will be a male member in the patriarchal society, and there will be only one main head. That is the USP of a joint family. Let us move to question number 3. There's a paragraph given here, and the question asks who has written these lines. So the paragraph goes like, it does not matter whether marital relations are permanent or temporary, where there is polygamy or polyandry or sexual license, whether conditions are complicated by the additions of members not included in the family circle. You can read the rest of it. Wife and immature children constitute a unit apart from the remainder of the community. These words explain the universality of a family. So please remember that universality of a family is discussed by Lowy. So the answer will be option B. So I hope you got the lecture. Thank you for watching.